السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. طبعا اليوم بدنا نرجع نكفي الدرس اللي كنا اشتغلنا عليه بالفيديو الأول. درسنا كان Quadratic Equations وما زال درسنا Quadratic Equations. هاي العنوان ظاهر أمامنا. طبعا أهدافنا بهذا الفيديو أو بهاي الحصة هن هدفين. طبعا ممكن يكونوا هدف واحد لأن مرتبطين ببعض بشكل وثيق. الهدف الأول to specify the existence of roots of a given quadratic equation. يعني بدنا نحدد وجود الروتس for a given quadratic equation. And the second objective is to solve in R in the set of real numbers a given quadratic equations surely by using discriminant. أكيد باستعمال الديسكريمينانت بدنا نعمل solve للquadratic equation باستعمال الديسكريمينانت. قبل ما نبدأ ننفذ هدول الأهداف اثنين أو الهدف الواحد لأنهم مرتبطين ببعض، خلينا نراجع اللي حكيناه بالفيديو السابق. الفيديو السابق تحدثنا عن 3 أهداف صغار كانوا هن to identify a quadratic equation. سألنا what is a quadratic equation. عرفنا ال quadratic equation is of the form ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. This is the definition of a given quadratic equation. الهدف الثاني كيف نحدد the coefficients of a quadratic equation. The coefficients are a, b and c are the coefficients of this given quadratic equation. A is the coefficient of x square, b is the coefficient of x, and c is the constant coefficient. الهدف الثالث to calculate the discriminant delta واللي بدنا نعتمد عليها كتير هلا عشان نجيب الروتس. To calculate the discriminant delta its formula is delta equal b square minus 4ac. وكلياتكم تقريبا حسبتوا، اشي اخطأ شوي اشي ما اخطأ، وكان الوضع كتير منيح باللي تابعوا معنا. Now in order to discuss our first objective, the existence of roots, to specify the existence of roots of a given quadratic equation. The existence of roots depends directly on the sign of delta. If delta is positive, there are 2 real roots. These roots are distinct. If delta is positive, there are 2 real solutions or roots. X prime is equal to minus b plus radical b square minus 4ac, which is delta, radical delta over 2a, and x second equal minus b minus radical b square minus 4ac, which is also delta. These under the radical, these are delta. This is the discriminant b square minus 4ac. This is discussed above. If delta is 0, there are 1 real root called a double root. X prime equal x second equal minus b over 2a. And if delta, the last one, if delta is negative, the equation has no real roots. So we have 3 cases: if delta is positive, if delta is 0, if delta is negative. If delta is positive, we have 2 distinct real roots. If delta is 0, we have 1 double root. If delta is negative, then we have no real roots. هيك بنكون تحدثنا عن الاكزيستنس، وبنفس الوقت If delta is positive, these two roots are x prime equal minus b plus radical delta. These are delta, this is delta. Under the radical sign, b square minus 4ac is delta. And if delta is 0, one real root, which is double root, x prime equal x second equal minus b over 2a. And if delta is negative, no real roots, we have no real roots. طبعا بهاي المناسبة بنرجع منحل الأسئلة اللي أعطيتكم إياهم وظيفة، أكيد كلكم تقريبا حلتوهم زي ما حكينا، وبنحكي عن الإكزيستنس فيهم، وبعدين بناخد اكسرسايزز كيف نجيب الروتس. هلا هذا اللي شايفينه قدامكم هو حل الأسئلة اللي أعطيتكم إياهم أنا وظيفة. طبعا هي مناسبة عشان أحل لكم إياهم، وهي حليناهم هيك. اللي كان عنده أي خطأ كمان وبعده مش عارف بتأكد من إجاباته. هلا بالنسبة للإكزيستنس أوف روتس بالكوادراتيك إيكويشن الأولى بالسؤال الأول، إذا بدنا نشوف كم روت عنا، هون إذا الدلتا طالعة معنا 0 كم روت حسب الفورميلا اللي شفناها. الفورميلا بتقول إذا الدلتا 0 في عنا 1 real root. So delta is 0, so we have 1 real root for this quadratic equation, for the first quadratic equation. And if delta is equal to 1 in the second exercise, delta is 1 in the second exercise, it is positive. So if it is positive here, if delta is positive, there are 2 real roots or solutions. So we have two real roots because delta is positive. And the last one, the third exercise, delta, as you see, delta is negative. If delta is negative, the equation has no real roots. So in this, no real roots. Why? Because delta is negative. In the second, why we have 2 real roots, 2 distinct real roots, in fact, because delta is positive. And in the first one, since delta is 0, hence we have 1 real roots. هيك بنكون تحدثنا عن الاكزيستنس اوف ذا روتس، وهيك تحدثنا عن الهدف الاول. هلا بالنسبه للهدف الثاني، هلا بناخذ اكسرسايز ثاني. ناخذ اكسرسايز ثاني ونبدا نشوف الاكزيستنس ونجيب الروتس. Now for this exercise, solve in R. The first one is x squared plus x minus 2 equal to 0. As you see, this is a quadratic equation because it is of the form ax squared plus bx plus c with a different than 0. If we have to specify the coefficients, so a is 1, b is also 1, and c is minus 2. If we have to calculate delta is b squared minus 4 times a times c. So it is equal to b square is 1 square minus 4 times a is 1 times c is minus 2. So it is equal to 1. Minus 4 times 1 times minus 2 is plus 8. So it is equal to 9. Delta is 9. It is positive. Delta is positive. So the existence of roots there, if we have to say to speak about the existence of roots. إذا بدنا نحكي عن ال existence of roots بكون في عنا حسب الفورمولا اللي شفناها من شوي بكون في عنا two distinct real roots because delta is positive. two real roots. هلا هيك بنكون اسا بدأنا نحكي عن الهدف الأخير كيف نجيب الروتس to solve in R a given quadratic equation. هلا the roots are x prime equal minus b plus radical delta over 2a. احنا بالفورمولا كاتبين محل الدلتا b square minus 4ac لأنه هي الدلتا b square minus 4ac. It is equal to minus b is minus 1 plus radical delta radical 9 over 2 times 1. It is equal to minus 1 radical 9 is plus 3 over 2 times 1 which is 2, so it is equal to 2 over 2 is 1. This is the first root. احنا قلنا في 2 هذا الأول. The second root x second is equal to minus b minus radical delta is b square minus 4ac over 2a. It is equal to minus b minus 1 minus radical 9 over 2 times 1. It is equal to minus 1 minus radical 9 is plus 3, so it's 3 minus 1 minus 3 over 2. It is equal to minus 4 over 2. So this is equal to minus 2. The second root is minus 2. The first root is 1 and the second root is minus 2. These two roots are different. As you see, x prime is 1 and x second is minus 2. These are the roots. These are the roots of this quadratic equation. Second exercise, solve this equation. So A is equal to 1, B is equal, the coefficient of x is 6, and C is equal to 9. We have to calculate delta to specify how many roots we have. Delta is equal to b squared minus 4ac is equal to b squared 6 squared minus 4 times a is 1 times c is 9. It is equal to 36 minus 36. So it is equal to 0. Delta is 0, so we have one root which is double. The roots are equal, in fact. X prime equal x second equal minus b over 2a. You see, if delta is 0, there is one real root called double root, which is x prime equal x second equal minus b over 2a. So it is equal to minus b is 6, so minus b minus 6 over 2a, 2 times 1, it is equal to minus 6 over 2 is equal minus 3. The third exercise about solving a quadratic equation. Solve this quadratic equation. We have to specify the coefficients. A equal to 3, b is the coefficient of x which is 1, and c is the constant coefficient which is 1. Delta equal b squared minus 4ac. It is equal to 1 squared minus 4 times a3 times c is 1. It is equal to 1 minus 1 squared is 1. Minus 4 times 3 times 1 is minus 12. So it is equal to minus 11. This delta is negative. Clear, it is negative. So if it is negative, if delta is negative here, if delta is negative, the equation has no real roots. So this equation in the third exercise, no real roots. We can't find real roots for this equation because the discriminant delta is negative.